Now, look at this class. If you want to define future method, future method is a asynchronous operation. Asynchronous operation. Future method is a asynchronous operation. The next we have every future method should be defined with at the rate of future addition. Every future method should be defined with at the rate of future addition. Every future method should be static. Every future method should be static. You should have at the rate of future, and every future method should be static. Then future method accepts only primitive data types. Future method accepts only primitive data types. Future method accepts only primitive data type. Future method accepts only primitive data type. Future method accepts only primitive data type. How do you define the rate of future? Static. One more point. Runtime should be void only. Runtime should be void. This is how we define. Public static void future call parameters. Public static void future call parameters. Now, example, public class. Example. This is how we have defined. At the rate of future, static, runtime is void. I hope you are clear with this format. Right, boss? Clear with this format? Right, let us take the next example. Next, create a class demo with the future method show. Create a class demo with the future method show. Create a. Let us demonstrate one example. So look at the structure, everyone here. Public, void. I'm just giving some method here. System dot equal. I give a couple of statements. This is a statement what I define. Then I'm giving public, treated as show 1, show 2, show 3. Create 1, create 2, create 3. Right. Now what I'm doing, call me 1, call me 2, then I'm giving call me 1, call me 2, so I'm calling. Then 4 I'm calling 5. So it is a sequential operation. When it is a sequential operation, how they will run? Call me 1, call me 2, then go to show. Show 1, show 2, show 3, call me 3, call me 4, call me 5, create 1, create 2, create 3, call me 6, call me 7. It is a sequential operation. When it is a sequence, they will run in the top-down approach. So call me 1, call me 2, show 1, show 2, show 3, call me 3, call me 4, call me 5, create 1, create 2, create 3, call me 6, call me 7. Let me execute. It is a sequential operation. Sequence means in the top-down approach they are going to execute. What is the output we got? Call me 1, call me 2, show 1, show 2, show 3, call me 3, 4, 5, create 1, 2, 3. It is a sequential operation. It is a sequential operation. Am I clear with this? It is a sequential operation. Now, in the sequential operation, I am making this method as feature. At the rate of I am running this method as feature. I am giving this method also at the rate of. When you say at the rate of future, what will happen? When you say future, this method will run independently. This method is going to run independently. When the method is going to run independently, call me 1, call me 2, call me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will run like one set. Show will run like another set. Create will run like another set. So how many methods are running now? When I call this, show and create will run independently and rest of the operations will run independently. So how do you test it? Go to the developer console. Go to this. Monitor. What are you finding here? Logs. The logs we have debug logs. New debug log. Because there are 3 files which are running. There are 3 files which are running. Three files are running, so I want to show the 3 files. Go back here, debug, there is execute, go back to this, find out how many files are there? 3 files are there. Go to the first one view, what is the output we received here? We look at this. What are we finding here? Create 1, create 2. The first file we have create 1, create 2, create. That means that is running separately. The second file we are going, what we are getting here? Show 1, show 2, show 3. That means it is running independently. What is the third one we have? Dash, call me 1, call me 2, call me 3, call me 4, call me 5, call me 6, call me 7. So what is that? Call me is running separately, show is running separately, and create is running separately. Why? If you define any method as a feature, it will run independently from the rest of the transaction. All the feature methods will run separately from the rest of the method. All the feature methods will run separately from the rest of the method. That is how the operation is getting like. How are you getting the operation now? You ready? This is going to run independently. This is going to run independently. If I don't make this as feature, then what will be the output? Call me 1, call me 2, call me 3, call me 4, call me 5, create 1, create 2, create 3, call me 6, call me 7. Only this will run independently. If I define this also as a feature, this will run independently, this will run independently, rest of the transaction is one set. So when do you go for a future method? If any operation is taking longer time. Tell me some operation which will take longer time. Web service calls. I make a web service call to third party. Third party is going to give a response. It may give a response in 1 second, give a response in 5 seconds, it will give a response in 1 minute. If it is taking 1 minute, it is very delayed operation. 1 minute is a huge time, it's a delayed operation. So web service calls are going to take longer time, bulk operation. If I am trying to update 10,000 records at a time, if I insert a 10,000 records at a time, what will happen? It will take more time. If you are trying to make a table operation on larger set of data, it's called bulk table operation. If you are going with the bulk operations or web service calls, it is going to take a lot of time. Any bulk operations or web service calls, it is going to take more times. These type of statements are defined in the future. Any statements which take longer time or if it is a bulk operation, it's a web service call, that is going to be defined in the future. Are you clear? So what is the purpose of future method? What is the purpose of future method? Future method is going to run independently from the rest of the transaction. When do you go for future method? If any one of the statements are taking longer time, then we go for future method. Name some of the transactions which will take longer time. Web service call, bulk table operations. Okay. How do you define the future method? At the rate of future. Future method should be static. Return type should be void. Return type is void. That means it is not going to return you any job details. Okay. Now, how do you know the status of the future method? How do you know the status of the future method? Go back first. Setup, monitor. What are the point here? Jobs, FX jobs. What was this? You are able to see. Two future methods are running. Create method and the status. Understand. So if you want to track the status of the asynchronous operation, you are going to go to setup, monitor, jobs, FX jobs, track the status. Any asynchronous job that is running in the Salesforce, will be registered with async FX job object. Any asynchronous job that is running in the Salesforce will be registered with what? Async FX job object. Any asynchronous job that is running in the Salesforce will be registered with async FX job object. I repeat the point. Any asynchronous job that is running in the Salesforce that will be registered with async FX job object. That will be registered with async FX job object. Are you clear about this? Now, once the job is registered with async FX job object, it is going to get a job ID. It is going to get a job ID. Once you get the job ID, we are going to get a job ID. Once you get the job ID, I can write a sample code on async FX job ID. But if you observe the future method, is it going to return the job ID for you? Why? Because it is a void. Why? Because it is a void. So the future method will not return you job ID. Whenever you call future method, job is added to the queue. Whenever we call a future method, job is added to the queue. When the job is added to the queue, whenever the resource is available, it is going to execute. So every asynchronous job will be running from queue. Every asynchronous job will not be running instantly. They will be added to queue. When they are added to the queue, based on the availability of the resource, they will execute. So every asynchronous job will be registered with what? Async FX job object. Once it is registered, we can get the status of the job. The second point is the future method is giving you job ID. Future method will not return you any job ID. Future method is not returning you any job ID. Future method is not returning you any job ID. Future method is not returning you any job ID. If you are running a asynchronous transaction, every asynchronous transaction is registered with the async FX job object. Every asynchronous transaction is registered with the async FX job object. Once it is registered with the async FX job object, we are going to get a job ID. But the future method is not going to return you job ID. Why it is not going to return you job ID? Why is not going to return you job ID? Because the return type of the feature method is void. The return type of the feature method is void. Is that what's clear for everyone? Future method is going to run independently. Any long running operations are there, we are going to handle them using a feature method. How do you define a feature method? At the rate of future, public, static, void, method. Is it going to accept the non-primitive? Non-primitive, can I give something like account ACC? Account ACC? We cannot. Why you cannot give? Why we cannot give? What is the problem with this? Let's do this. Let us say I have a table. Is a table, name, phone. This is the record of what we have in the database. In the database, I have the following record. I have public class lizard table. Example. If I am passing an account record, industry equal to banking, ACC dot phone, is what I have. Is the other one. Public void. So what this method is doing? Is writing a software query. This is how we created. Right. This is my class boss. Now I am executing the program. When I am executing the program, I told example dot because there is a static method. I am calling it. When I wrote a software code, what is the data I have? My name is capital, banking, phone number is. Am I right? I wrote a software code. What is the data I have? Capital, 11111, banking. This is the data. Then I call this account. Example dot. Okay. Then I am calling example equal to. This is what I do. Now what happened? When I am running this code, software code is running. When the software code is running, you got an account with a name called capital. I told you right now. When you say my update, it is a future method. When you call a future method, job is added to the queue. Job will be added to the queue. Future methods will not run instantly, they will be added to the queue. In the queue, already there are some jobs which are pending. In the queue, there are already some jobs are pending. I say job 1, job 2, pending. Now we add a new job. What is that? My update. My update. So when this my update will be running, after job 1 and job 2 is completed, it will be ready. Because the jobs are added to the queue, then the jobs will be executed in the same order. Now by the time I added, already there are 2 jobs in the queue. So until those 2 jobs are completed, my operation will not be completed. So it is added to the queue, it is in the waiting state. Now, what is the data it has already taken? It has already taken the data called capital W1, W1. It has taken this data, waiting in the queue for completing the operation. Then future method is going to run independently, right? As this method is running independently, what happened? Rest of the statements are running. When the rest of the statements are running, I told you to create. Then what happened? Fetch all the records if industry equal to energy. When I told industry equal to energy, then in the database, what is the value we have? Banking is removed, right? Database is updated. But still, the job which is pending in the queue, what is the data it has? Banking. Why? Because you already collected the data, you are waiting in the queue. Meanwhile, somebody modified the data. Is the modification is independent to you? Are you getting my point? You already took the data, you are waiting in the queue. Meanwhile, some changes happened. Will the changes are known to you? Will the changes are known to you? The changes are not known to you, right? Then what happened? Because of this, wrong operation will be happening. That's why they told, boss, don't pass S object as a parameter because the future method will not maintain state of the data. You already collected the data, you went to the queue and waiting. Meanwhile, somebody made changes on the database. The changes which are made on the database will not come to you because the state of the data is not getting transferred. That's the reason they say don't pass S object as a parameter. Future method will not accept. Any S object as a parameter. It only accepts what? Primitive data types. Future method accepts only primitive data types. Am I clear with this? So tell me what is the future method? Future method is a asynchronous operation which is used to handle long running operation. Name some of the long running operations. Like web service call, bulk operation, bulk table operation. Web service calls are bulk table operation. How do you define the future method? At the rate of future, static, void, and your method. Now, is the future method is going to return you job ID? No, why? Return type is what? Void. How do you track the status of the job? Go to setup, monitor, jobs, then you want FX jobs, track the status. Now, every asynchronous job that is running, where is the job registered? Async FX job object. Async FX job object. Now, can I pass non-primitive members as a parameter? No, we cannot pass. Why? Because the asynchronous methods will not run instantly. They are added to the queue. When they get a touch, they are going to execute. That's the reason state of the data will not be exchanged. The state of the data will not be exchanged. As the asynchronous operations are not going to be executed instantly, they are going to be added to the queue. They are not going to be executed instantly. They are going to be added to the queue. As they are added to the queue, it will take time to execute them. Are you clear about this operation? Clear for everyone? Clear? Right, Ma? This is the reason why we are going for future method. Now, future method can also be used for one more thing. That is for handling mixed DML exception. Future methods can also be used for what? Handling mixed DML exception. What is that mixed DML exception? I hope the story is clear. Clear for everyone? Everyone got the theme? Syntax of writing is clear for everyone? Okay. Now let us understand what is this mixed DML exception. What is mixed DML exception? Look at the mixed DML exception. Okay. Let's do the first step. Get the general theme. Now I have five people. I have some group of people here. Now this is a group of friends are there. A group of friends. let's see. The family. We have group of people are there. Listen to the context. So in this group of people, so husband one, wife one, daughter two, the money. These are the group of people. Now these people decide to go for a movie. Let us see. Movie at 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. they decide to go for a movie. They plan. The neighbors, friends, they plan to go for a movie. Now, this fellow, okay, they want to go for a movie. This fellow told boss, the movie was planned. This fellow told, we'll cancel the movie. Go to some resort. Now, if this fellow tells the opinion, is it going to impact the decision of other people? Now, if you say, is it going to affect? No, it is not going to affect boss. It's only husband. So, husband decision will never be impacted. So, what is it? If you take a decision, is it going to impact the plan of other? The other people say, no boss. If wife of this guy says, we'll cancel the movie, then what happened? All the other three members also say okay. So what is it? Her decisions are going to impact what? If she make any change in the plan, everybody will accept. Now these guys say, boss, we will have some biryani. The other people say, no, we'll have. My wife says, no, boss, we'll go for only sambar. So what happened? Now the decisions of the husbands are not going to impact the team plan. Right? Because if you make a decision only for you, the team is not going to accept your decision. If the wives of the team is going to take a decision, what happened? The entire team plan will change. Right? So what is that? Here, husband is a non-setup object. Wife is a setup object. Any change that happen on the setup object will impact the permissions of the records on the table. Any change that is made by the setup object, any way that is made on the setup object will impact the permissions of the records, permissions of the users on the record. Now, my permissions on the record will be changed. Are you getting my point? Let me make it simple. Setup or non-setup object. Now, what is the setup object? Here we have I told you there are two people involved here. So objects in the Salesforce they are classified as setup objects and non-setup objects. Now I told you husband is a wife is a setup object and husband is a non-setup object. Now they are able to see some data. Now this is the data. Some action. These are records. Now they are supposed to see this data. Right now they are able to see everything. Now, if I make any changes, if husband make any change, boss, I should not see Prasad. They are supposed to visit these four people, and they are supposed to visit the four people. If husband says, I will not visit Prasad, will there be any change? No change. If you don't want to visit Prasad, stand out outside the house. Okay, I will go and visit. If wife decided that we should not visit her, Kiran, what will happen? If the wife says, boss, sir, we will not go for visiting a Kiran, the decision is taken. So finally what? So everybody has to obey it. Now what was that? Setup object. If setup object make any changes, setup object make any changes, if you make any changes on the setup object, it is going to change your permissions on the record. Now, when wife say, don't see Kiran, which record the husband can see now? Hari, Prasad, Manas. Who has taken the decision? Is it a setup object or non-setup object? Setup object. So if the setup object, any changes are there in the setup object, it will impact the permissions of the users on the record. Now, setup told, boss will also go and visit Divya. Then what happened? Now Prasad, okay, the husband also will be able to see the person called Divya. Now what is that? Any change that you make on the setup object, it is going to change the permissions of the users on the records of the table. Permissions of the user on the records of the table. If you make any changes on the setup object, it is going to affect the permissions of the user on the records of the table. Let me give. Now she has a role called HR manager. He has a role called, so we will say, manager. Or right now, according to my company, I have HR manager. Or HR manager, sales executive. Now these records are owned by Divya, Kiran. So who is this Kiran? Sales executive is the Kiran. HR manager is the Divya. Now Divya has the role of HR manager and Kiran has the role of sales executive. Now why Divya was able to see all the 5 records? As per the role hierarchy, sales executive is falling under the Divya. Because the sales executive is standing below the HR manager and Divya was able to see all the 5 records. Now I went to role object. And told sales executive will report to CEO directly. When I say sales executive will report to the CEO directly, what will happen now? The structure will come back. CEO, sales executive. Now, will the Divya will be able to see Prasad, Parag and Divya record? No, why? Because Kiran is no more a subordinate of Divya. Previously, Kiran was a subordinate of Divya. That's the reason Divya was able to see. Now, what did I do? I made a changes on the role object. In the role object, I told sales executive should report to CEO. If you make a changes on this object, it is going to impact the permissions of the user on the record. Previously, Divya was able to see Kiran, Hari, Prasad, Faraz, but now she was only able to see Kiran and Hari. So permissions of Divya are affected. Why? Because I made some changes on the role object. The objects on which if you make a changes, that will impact the permissions of the user on the record. Let us say, right now I told user Divya. Right now she has a role of HR manager. When I told role of HR manager, what Divya was able to see? Only Kiran and Hari. If I go to user, role is HR. I modify the role of Divya to CEO. When I modify the role of Divya to CEO, which record she can see now? Kiran, Hari, Prasad, Faraz. Why? If you make a change on the user object, user has a profile, profile called clerk. According to the clerk profile, whatever that is visible to you, you are able to see. Now, I change your profile from clerk to administrator. Then what will happen? You will be able to see all the records. So, if I make a change on the user object, that is going to affect the permissions of the user on the records. Because previously I gave clerk profile, you are able to see few records. Now I modify the user's profile as admin profile. Then what happened? The user is getting all the records. So what happened? If you make a DML operation on setup objects, If you make a DML operation on set of objects, it is going to affect the permissions of the user. It is going to affect the permissions of the user on. It is going to affect the permissions of the user on. Okay, on the records. That's why they are called setup objects. So what are the setup objects? Good my point. Objects on which if you make a DML, it will impact the permissions of the user on records. Such type of objects are called setup objects. Rest of the objects are called non-setup objects. Again I repeat. Objects on which if you make a DML, that will impact the permissions of the users on the records is called setup object. The rest of the objects are called non-setup objects. So what are these setup objects? Let us see. List of setup objects. So now, what is the setup object, what is the non-setup object, and what is this mixed event? Together point. These are the setup objects. Group, field permission, first group member, field permission, object permission, permission set, user, territory, then we have user. Frequently used objects are these are the frequently used objects. Group. So these are the some of the objects. I gave the list of objects here. These are the list of objects. These are the list of objects. These are called setup. Only these objects are called setup. Rest of the objects are called non-setup objects. Now what is the issue now? If you make a DML operation on setup objects and non-setup objects together, if you make a DML operation on setup objects and non-setup objects together, that is going to throw an exception. What type of exception is going to throw? If you create a DML operation on setup object and non-setup objects together, that is going to throw an exception. What type of exception is going to throw? Mixed DML exception. What type of exception is going to throw? Mixed DML exception. If you try to make a DML operation on setup object and non-setup object within a single transaction, if you try to make a DML operation on, setup objects and non-setup objects together within a single transaction, it is going to throw an exception called mixed DML exception. What is the exception it is going to throw? Mixed DML exception. Again I repeat, if you try to make a DML operation on setup object and non-setup object together within a transaction, that is going to throw an exception. What is the exception? Mixed DML exception. Mixed DML exception. So DML cannot be performed on setup and non-setup in a single method. Repeat. So you want to create a user, you have to create some I'm trying to create a user. User is a setup or non-setup? User is a setup or non-setup? Setup object. Account is a setup or non-setup? Account is a non-setup. So what I'm doing? Within the same method, Within the same method, I am trying to perform a table on setup object and non-setup. Within the single method, we are trying to make a table on setup and non-setup. Within the same method, if you try to perform a table on setup or non-setup, that is called mixed DML exception. It is going to throw an exception called mixed DML exception. Let me run this. What is the exception called here? Mixed DML. Why mixed DML? We are trying to perform a table on setup object and a non-setup object within a single transaction. Within the same method, if you make a table on setup or non-setup objects together, it is going to throw mixed DML exception. It is going to throw mixed DML exception. Then how do you solve this? Problem is, if you are running together, there is a problem. If both of them run separately, the issue will be solved. So how do they run separately? You find a feature method. Get of feature, public, static, void null. Simply split this operation. Call. Now what is that? When you call it future method, what happens? Future method will run separately. So call me is going to run separately, this is going to run separately. If both of them are running together, there is a problem. But now in the future method, what is happening? Future will run separately and echo will run separately. That's how the issue will be solved. Is that was clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? So why the issue was solved? Because we are running them independently. How do you run them independently? By defining the future method. So set up objects, not set up objects. What is a set up object? Object on which if you make a object on which if you make a table operation, okay, it is going to impact the permissions of the user on the records of the object. Objects on which if you make a table, it is going to impact the permissions of the user, the records. Then they are called setup. Names among the setup objects: group member, object level permission, field level permission, then permission set, user territory, user role. These are some of the setup objects. Non-setup object, if you make a table on this object, it is not going to impact the permissions of the user. Names some of the non-setup objects: account, contact, customer, loan, they are called non-setup. What is a mixed table exception? You know what is a mixed table? If you try to implement a table on setup or non-setup together, then it is going to throw mixed table exception. Now, what are the drawbacks of future method? Future method will not support non-primitive text. Future method will not support non-primitive text. Only primitive data members are supported by the future method in the transaction is a parameter. Then future method is not going to return you Java. Future method is not going to return you Java. Java will not be given. Then can I call a future within a future? We have a future method within a future method. Within a future method, can I call another feature? Now, can I call it? Future cannot be called within a future method. Future cannot be called within a future method. Right. Now, how do you overcome the drawbacks? Suppose future cannot be called in a future. Future will not support S object as a parameter. But I have to pass S object. How to pass S object? Future memory is not going to accept S object. But as per my requirement, as per my business requirement, I have to pass S object. How will you pass it? Future method is not going to accept. Future method is not going to accept S object as parameter. But as according to my requirement, I have to pass S object. How will you pass? Then instead of passing the S object, pass the ID of the S object. Instead of passing the S object, pass the ID of the S object. When you pass the S object ID, then what I will do? I will write a query within a future method, get the record. ID is a primitive, so don't pass the object, pass the ID of the S object. When you pass the ID of the S object, whenever the feature is running, it is going to run a SQL query and get the fresh data. Second one, use XML or JSON. Convert the S object to XML or JSON. Convert the S object to XML or JSON. Convert the S object into XML or JSON and convert the S object into XML or JSON and run it. Send as. So these are the two solutions. If you have to pass S object as a parameter, convert the S object into JSON string or XML string and pass them as a string value. These are the workaround process. The future method will not accept S object as a parameter, but according to your requirement, if you have to pass the S object, according to your requirement, you have to pass the S object. If you have to pass the S object according to your requirement, how will you pass? Pass the ID of the record instead of record, or convert the record into JSON string or XML string and pass it. So this is the future method. Again, I am repeating. What is the why you go for a future method? Within the transaction, if there are any long running operation, within a transaction, if there are any long running operations, within the transaction, if there are any long running operations, then what will you do? We will go for a future method. Okay. How do you define a future method? At the rate of future. Then method should be static. Return type should be void. Parameter should be primitive. Suppose if you want to call web services, you want to call it web services within a future method, then I will give call out equal to. If you want to call it web services, then I will give at the rate of future call out equal to 2. If you want to call web services, then tell me some of the areas where we can use feature method. Tell me some use cases where we can use feature method. If you are trying to perform a DML operation on more number of records, let's say I want to perform a DML on 100 records, 1000 records, 10,000 records, 30,000 records, that is a good choice to go for feature method. Tell me one more job, one more use case. If you are trying to make a web service call to third party, then we go for feature method. Right. Tell me one more use case where we can use feature method. Mixed DML exception. Mixed DML exception. How many feature methods can be called at a time? 50 feature methods. How many can be called? 50 feature methods. How do you track the status of the feature method? Setup. For the navigation, setup, monitor, jobs, apex jobs. We get that. Every job that is running, every asynchronous job that is running will be registered with what? Async apex job object. In that object, we will get an ID. If you want to programmatically find out the status, write a sample query of that object and get it. Okay. All asynchronous jobs are going to be registered with the async apex job object. If you want to find the status of the job, write a sample query and get the status of the job. Then, next. Name last 2 points. If you want to pass a subject, what I asked you to pass the ID of the record or pass the convert it to JSON pass. So if you have to pass that, if you have to pass the S object, what is the solution we have? We have record ID. What is the other solution? JSON pass the XML. Right. New map is you don't have, take new map. No, if ID is not there, what is the other solution we have? Convert it to JSON. If ID is not there, convert it to JSON. Okay. Right now, clear? Okay. So we missed out some points. Some point I was discussing. So previous step. Okay. So if you want to type the status, ready sample Korea, async fx Java object. Async fx Java object. Okay. Now let's go to the next step. Logs. If you want to right now what we are doing, if you are running from a debug, automatically we are getting a log file there. No, you don't want to see the log file in the debug console. You want to run them separately. You can go to what? Logs. The logs what we have? First, register the user key. Register the user key. I gave file key. Register the user. New. Which user? You want to see the log of which user? Satish. From what time to what time? Then choose the log level. Choose it as save. Will you save it? Then what happened? What are the execution that you are doing there? The corresponding log files you can find from here. Just click on the log file. That's the same file what we are getting in the developer console. When you execute in the developer console, you are getting the same file. But thing is, when you are running a asynchronous job, all the log files will not be able to see by developer console. That's why I opened. I opened here. If it is asynchronous operation, multiple files are there. So I opened a log file. Otherwise, you can find the log file where? The developer console itself. The developer console itself, you can find the log. Okay. Any other queries from your end? Any other queries? Once again, I'll quickly revise the points one more time. What is the purpose of future method? Any long running operations are there, they will go to impact the performance of the transaction. To avoid that, what are we doing? What are we doing? Running those long running operations as asynchronous operation. To run that long running operation as asynchronous operation, what we are using? Future method. How do you define a future method? At the rate of future. And the method should be static. Okay, return type should be void. Parameters are primitive. Then, what type of operations are defined in the future? Long running operation. Name some of the long running operations. Web service call, bulk DML, trying to perform a DM on 10,000 record, 20,000 record, or 5,000 record, 500 records. Then we go for long. Okay, then they are going to take more time. So we'll go for future method. Then one more choice is mixed DML exception. Now, what are the drawbacks of future method? Future method will not accept S of Z as parameter. What is the solution? Pass the ID of the, if you know the ID of the record, pass the ID of the record as parameter. If you don't know the ID of the record, convert them into JSON or XML. Convert them into JSON string or XML. If you know the ID, pass the ID. If you don't know the ID, convert them to JSON XML. The same question he has asked. In the trigger we have, so I'll enhance the question. So you got before insert trigger. When you take a before insert trigger, we have only trigger.new. We don't have trigger.new map. The before insert trigger, we don't have trigger. Okay. New map, we have only trigger.new because records are not yet inserted. In that case, what should I do? I will pass the S object. Now, it is not a good practice to invoke a feature method with S object in the before method because I cannot guarantee when the feature will run. It will take 5 seconds, 1 minute, 1 hour, 10 hours. We cannot guarantee. That's the reason always we prefer to, if it is impacting any records what we are inserting. The records what we are inserting, if it is going to impact any one of these records, then always we go with what? After. No, I have a web service call, then what we can do? Convert the data in the trigger.new into JSON string or XML string. So if you take a before, we have convert the JSON string or XML string. If it is after, we have record ID, simply pass the record IDs. Okay. And every job that is running every job that is asynchronous, will it run instantly or will it run queue based? It is going to be added to the queue based on the availability of the resource. It will be executed. Can I call a feature within a feature? Can we call a feature within a feature? Can we call a feature within a trigger? Within a trigger, can we call? Yes. When do you call? When you want to call a web services. In the trigger, we are going to call the feature. When do you call? To call the web services or to handle the mixed DML exception. To handle the mixed DML exception. Triggers will not support synchronous web services. Triggers will not support synchronous web service. Why? Because my operation is a before insert trigger. My operation is a before insert. I made a web service call. Until the web service call is completed, my trigger will not be completed. Because it's a before insert, record is not yet saved. Record is waiting. Record is waiting. Record is not saved. It's a trigger. The trigger I call it. web service. When I call a web service, the request went to third party. Now the request went to third party and response is coming. But it took 90 seconds to give the response. It took 90 seconds to give the response. When it's taking 90 seconds to give the response, your trigger is on hold for 90 seconds. 90 seconds is a use time. You clicked on the save, record is not saved for 90 minutes. Will you wait? Will you wait? You clicked on the record save, record is not saved, still is processing. For 90 seconds it is processing. Obviously what do you? We cancel the operation. So if you make a web service call to the third party from a trigger, then what happens? It takes longer time, then the trigger will be delayed. That's the reason. Trigger will not support synchronous web service. That's the reason. If you want to call a web service, define this web service as feature. When you define as a feature, what happens? That web service will run separately. As a web service is going to run separately, the rest of the trigger will be completed. The trigger will not be impacted, right? So, if you want to call a web services, asynchronous web services from the trigger, we'll go for future. Tomorrow we'll see one example of future method with the web services, how they will be used, right? If you want to call a web service, how do you define? At the rate of future, call out equal to true. At the rate of future, call out equal to true. How do you track the status of the future method? Setup, monitor, jobs, effects off. What is the other format? Write a circle Korea, async effects Java. Write a circle Korea, async effects Java. I hope you are clear. Clear for everyone? That's all for mine.